went into a nationwide lockdown on the 25th of March, and that lockdown was further extended in phases for more than 2 months. That lockdown now comes to an end. That is, India is reopening today. Already for the past 2 weeks, roads are busy, shops have opened, and even offices started to function. But we all remember in the early stages of quarantine, how the roads were completely empty and no public places were open. And we also remember some discomforts like essential services like food and grocery deliveries were completely limited, but all that comes to an end today because hotels, restaurants, malls and places of worship, schools and colleges are also open, but these are open only in places that are not in the containment zones. That should be a very important point to remember. Places, that is public places that are not in containment zones, will function from today. When India went into lockdown, it had reported some 519 confirmed cases and 10 deaths. Now the number of cases and deaths are so much higher and it keeps increasing every day. Despite of this increase in figure, India has decided to reopen because it simply could not afford to stay locked down any further. Already from day one, India's lockdown came at a huge cost. Daily wages suffered the most. Food supply chains were at risk, millions lost livelihood and affected every kind of business from car manufacturers to corner shops. We also saw the pathetic situation of migrant workers. We saw how this lockdown had particularly affected the migrant workers very badly, and India's growth forecast tumbled to a 30-year low. So all these economic challenges actually forced India to start function again. Health department workers and doctors say that the cases of coronavirus will keep coming. That is, the number of coronavirus affected people will keep increasing, but those people will either be mildly symptomatic or asymptomatic, and undetected infections are not severe. So this gave the government some sort of hope or confidence to restart the country's economy. Health Ministry also has given a lot of guidelines to be followed in places where the lockdown restrictions are being lifted. That includes elements like social distancing, usage of sanitizers, 50% seating capacity at public transport and restaurants. And when it comes to religious places, no distribution of edible religious offerings, that is, no distribution of prasadam is allowed, and no sprinkling of holy water, and idols and holy books cannot be touched, and large gatherings are prohibited. Recorded music or songs is allowed to be played in churches or mosques or temples, but singing groups or choirs are not allowed. The overwhelming or seemingly difficult message in this situation is that the virus is here to stay and we have to learn to live with it, and the only way to do that is to let people to live with it. Stay connected with us for more such information. This is Nisha PS.